Hi everyone, welcome back to Natalie's makeup channel. I wanted to do something a little bit different today, and instead of bringing you a traditional tutorial, I decided to do a look that was inspired by Pixi Beauty. This is not sponsored whatsoever, but I do want to show some love from these gifted products that they have sent to me. I have so many amazing products, and I wanted to also do a giveaway for you guys. If that's something you're interested in and you'd like to find out how to win some Pixi makeup and skincare, stay tuned until the end of this video. Before we get into today's giveaway, I do want to show you how to create a beautiful, simple summer makeup look brought to you by some of the products that have been gifted to me. I will go over some eyeshadow, face products, and also some lip products for you guys as well. Since sadly, I do not own any products for skin or for eyebrows, I've already went ahead and done that before this video. So I do have on a foundation, a translucent powder to set the skin, and then I've also done my eyebrows. I'm gonna start off with this Pixi Beauty. It's more of like a cool tone neutral / warm eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna start in, like I said, with something super simple that can also be really good for a beginner makeup look. So going in with a loose eyeshadow brush just to blend in and a super light brown shade. I will say this one is mostly a shimmer. Some of them are a little bit more metallic, but none of these are completely matte, maybe one or two. Just in case you're somebody that does prefer a matte palette, keep that in mind when purchasing these products. I will say right off the bat, this specific brown, extra creamy. It does have a little bit of kickback, but this pigmentation is really good and it's gonna give you that soft diffuse look, especially for someone that does struggle with eyeshadow or has more trouble blending them. It's gonna be perfect for you. And make sure to grab a larger eyeshadow brush. That way you can diffuse this blown out brown and not pack so much color on. So far, so good. I will say that even though this one does look pretty matte, it has a tiny bit of a barely you can tell, but it's a little bit of a shimmer. I do like it. It doesn't apply so shimmery when you actually press it onto the lid, so it could still be good as a transition shade. Again, just making sure to focus that first brown towards the outer corner of the eye. Now I want to deepen up this eye shape a little bit more, so I'm going to go in with a mix of the two darker browns. These ones are probably the most matte in the entire palette, and I want to mix them together to see how we can deepen up the crease. I'm very used to actually working with more warm tone eyeshadows, so playing with a palette like this is a lot different for me, but using more cool tone shades actually does create more of that sculpted look as opposed to bringing a lot of warmth and bronziness. Okay, now I've added those two deeper shades just to bring a little bit more of that definition and dimension into our outer crease. Going back in with a tiny bit of that first brown just to blend that out. I'm going to take a pencil brush with this shimmer brown right at the bottom of the palette. And like I said, I do want to make this eye look super simple, something that any beginner or somebody that's never touched makeup can also have some fun with. So using this just a tiny bit on the outer corner of the eye. Once you've applied that, you can also blend out with your finger, whatever you feel works best for you. Okay, switching over from the powder, I'm going in with the Pixi Endless Shade Stick. This one is a matte cocoa brown, so it's gonna give, you could also use this as a great eyeliner. It's something that I would personally use it for, or if you like to give a really pigmented base, you could use this before any powdered eyeshadow. It is a chubbier stick, so this is what it swatches like. Personally for me, just for this look, like I said, I wanted to keep it super simple and do something that anybody can achieve. So I'm just gonna use it primarily inside the waterline just to really give that defined edge. The pencil itself is super creamy. I love that just because specifically for me, I have very sensitive eyes. So using something like this, if it's a lot harsher and not as creamy of a texture, it can be a little bit more, not so damaging, but really, really cause sensitivity, cause your eyes to water, and just overall ruin the makeup. And as opposed to pulling your eye down, we want to make sure we just press in a little bit. It'll pop out that waterline and apply like so. What I love about this pencil, well, technically it's a shade stick. What I love about this is that it's going to apply the color, but it's also going to hold on to the actual lash hairs to make the lash line seem a lot more dramatic. If you are going to use this all over the eyes, you can also just go ahead and close it, bring it in as an eyeliner and smudge it out with your finger because the consistency of this is a lot creamier, so it'd be nice and easy to blend out. Now to bring a tiny bit of warmth, I'm going in with my Pixi / That's So Heart eyeshadow palette, a little bit messed up, but still beautiful nonetheless. Since I wanted a tiny bit of warmth with this look, I'm going in with this light brown with a hint of copper undertone. And just focusing this one all over the browns we had placed to add a bit of warmth. I will say this specific palette, I do feel like, I'm not sure if it's any different, but the consistency of the pigment and the pressed eyeshadow does feel a lot creamier. So I feel like with this one, it doesn't have as much kickback or fallout with the eyeshadow, but it does apply the pigment really well. Just focusing a little bit of this brown eyeshadow right on the bottom. Whenever I use any metallic or shimmery eyeshadows, if I feel like the color needs a little bit more payoff or if I just want it to look more sparkly, what I do is I grab any mist. This one I'm using is from Pixi Beauty and Argan Mist with my brush. Go ahead and spray the brush and then apply the shimmer or metallic shadow. It's going to give you a lot more vibrancy. And for this, I'm using 2 of the lighter shimmer shades in the palette. And here, just because of the specific shape I want to give, I'm using more of a tapered dome with thick brush. This way I can pack it on and then blend out in small circular motions. Whenever I use more of a shimmer shade going to metallic and then switching over to matte, one thing I do like to do is just use a finger and blend those together so it doesn't look like such a harsh line between the two. And I wanted to keep this super simple, but this is just a tiny thing you can add to give you a little bit more dimension. So this is the Mary Am liquid glitter from Pixi. It does have the applicator itself, so you can just apply with this. Using the applicator, I'm going to put a tiny bit on the outer corner. You can use your finger, brush, whatever works for you, but just for this precise application, I'm going to use this tiny, small lip brush. What I love about the liquid glitter is that I was a little bit worried that it was black, so it was going to come out really dark. But with this, once you blend out with a brush or a finger, the pigmentation itself is a lot more glitter than you'd think. So adding this is just going to give a nice pop of something in the outer corner. I will say though, even though it doesn't have so much color pigment itself, it is pigmented with glitter. So just apply a little bit as you go. If you don't want to use the applicator, you could also use the brush this way. Finishing off on eyes, I'm going in with the Pixi Large Lash Mascara. You guys know I'm pretty picky on mascara. This one here is just your standard mascara doe foot wand. It goes from large to small. If you do have smaller eyes, this one might be a little bit too big for you, but I do prefer something like this just to give a lot of color payoff and pigmentation. With the mascara like this, if you do use false lashes, you only have to put on 1 or 2 coats. If you're wearing it by itself, I would recommend going over just a few times. And the bottle doesn't specifically say what it was designed for. I'm sure the box did. I might have thrown it away, but I did notice this one is not waterproof just because for me, I'm more sensitive, so I wouldn't necessarily wear too much on the bottom lashes. And this specifically, this type of wand is going to give you more of a coated look and not so much as lengthening, but it will separate and define your lashes. Be very careful when applying bottom lash mascara with this kind of wand. What I do, just to make sure that it doesn't smear everywhere, instead of holding it horizontally, I go in vertically. Be very careful, hold it a little bit farther from your eye, and swipe sideways. You can go in horizontally. Just make sure to go in with a light hand, that way you don't apply too much mascara and it doesn't smear. Now that we've finished off with mascara, I'm going to go in with some false lashes and then we'll finish off with face. Okay, perfect. Now that our lashes are drying, I'm going back in with the Glow Mist. Since I already have the foundation done, I'm going back on top with the blush, the contour, the highlight, all that fun stuff. So just to give some more hydration, going in with a couple spritzes of this. I will say I have tried this one before. I absolutely love it. But if you are more oily combination, more oily than anything, this one does have argan oil, so it is extremely hydrating. So if you feel like that is something that you deal with and the oil comes through throughout the day, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one for you unless you are more combination dry or you prefer a little bit of a glow. Also smells really great. That's one thing I love about Pixi Beauty, is that all of their skincare smells really good and it doesn't have too much added fragrance. I know I've used this one before. This is now my go-to face palette. Has a little bit of everything, the blushes, highlight, and a little bit of contour. I know sometimes this can be a little bit too warm for some people, so if you do prefer something really cool toned, this might not be for you. I personally go in with a little bit of this middle shade down here just to give some warmth to the face. Focusing this is more of a circular, sometimes people use this for foundation. I personally like to squeeze it because of the densely packed specific hair particles. It's going to press on the contour and blend it out really nicely. So I just kind of squeeze it a little bit and then apply. If I want to deepen it up a little bit more, I just go in with this shade here. This one is more matte. This one is a little bit more shimmery, just keep in mind. Grab a little bit of that shade, just the more matte shade, and apply it all over the sides of the forehead. And since I do love to contour my eye shape and my nose a little bit more, I'm taking just a tiny bit of that first brown eyeshadow. And then of course, tap a little bit off your brush and then going in with the actual face contour from the Pixi palette. And then we're going to contour with these two mixed together. Apply that just on the sides of the nose, right along the bridge. Take a little bit more of the warmth and focus that next to the eyebrows. Just because we want to make sure that the contour around our face and on the eyes really blends together. Grabbing a large tapered fluffy brush, I'm going in with the blush shades in this specific palette here. So if you do like something a lot more shimmery, they have those for you. I personally like something shimmery but with a lot of pigment in itself. So I actually do mix these shades right here. And as you can see, this one does have a little bit of kickback too, but it is a lot of pigment. So keep in mind, dab that into the skin and it will press that right in. And just because I like to give a little bit more of that luminosity, I add a little bit of that shimmer blush, focusing that on the tops of the apples of the cheeks. Using this face palette once more, this is actually a large eyeshadow brush, but specifically for the highlight that I like to apply and in the areas I like to apply it, I do prefer something a lot smaller as opposed to those large fan brushes. Using this specific highlight shade right in the middle, it is more of a gold tone. I have tried this one. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. For someone that is a little bit lighter, this is going to work perfect for you while giving you some gold reflex. Applying that right on the side of the face. What I love about this is it doesn't give too much of a densely packed glitter. It is a super sheen sparkle, so it's not going to look like too much pigmentation on the skin. It'll dust over very lightly. Of course, if you are somebody that prefers a really blinding highlight, don't forget to add the glow mist to the brush and then apply after. If you want to get more pigmentation, just pack that on right into the areas you want more. And grabbing a little tiny bit right on the bridge of the nose and on the tip. If you want to, I know some people also like to apply the highlight right here. To blend everything we've done together, I'm going back in with my blush brush with no product whatsoever, just to blend the highlight, contour, and blush in together. I know I've used this one before as well. This is a Pixi Glow. It has the highlight, blush, and contour mixed together. I prefer these darker shades right here. Love this one just for behind the apples of the cheek. And this one, as opposed to the face palette, doesn't have as much shimmer to it. So if you prefer something more mattifying, I would go for this one here. Okay, we have our eyes done. We've done our face. Now moving on to lips. This one here is just a Pixi matte liquid lipstick from the Marianne collection. Let me show you the applicator. I have not used this one whatsoever. It is a really beautiful applicator. I prefer these. It's really similar to the Smashbox applicator. I believe this is a matte liquid. We'll have to try it and see. And this is in the shade Posh Nude. I prefer something like this in a nude lipstick just because of my undertone. This has a little bit more of a rose to it. So this is gonna look a lot better than something really cool tone that will wash my complexion out. And because it has this really awesome applicator, I'm not using any lip liner today. I'm just gonna go straight into the lips. Smells really good. I did notice though, with this specific applicator, a little bit more than I needed came out on the sponge itself. So I did apply it onto the back of my hand just to get any residue off. As you can see, because it has the fine tip applicator, it's gonna be a lot cleaner just to fill out anywhere where you have those little tiny areas. Perfect for getting right in the corner. It does feel more like a matte. I'll see how this wears throughout the day, but the color, absolutely beautiful. I would have picked this one out myself. And this is the final look brought to you by today's Pixi Beauty products, eyes, face, and the lip. And here is all of this amazing, amazing Pixi Beauty skincare and makeup products that I have to give away. So if you're interested in learning how to win these, definitely click on the description bar, follow the rules, go over to my Instagram. I would love to see so many different winners from this giveaway to be able to share some of these beauty products and learn how to use these awesome ones as well. If you're curious about what's in today's giveaway, I have a little bit of everything. Of course, I wanted to show some love to Pixi Beauty. We have stuff from like a highlighter, face palette, skincare products. We also have eyeshadows, so many different things. If you're into more makeup products or more skincare, there's always something in here for you. So I definitely suggest you guys go ahead and follow the rules to enter this amazing giveaway. Thank you for watching today's Pixi Beauty inspired makeup tutorial and giveaway. I wish you all luck on winning these awesome beauty and skincare products. If you like my videos and want to see more, don't forget to hit that bell button, subscribe, like, and comment. If you have any suggestions for the next video, don't forget to write them down below. I love reading your suggestions and I will come out with those videos soon. Thanks for watching.